Okay, so this time we are looking at a documentation called Building AI Agents from Design Patterns to Production. Okay, so this is done by a person called, let's go to his repo. I don't want to butcher his name. I assume his name is Angle. Okay, so he is the contributor of this documentation, and it's under the GitHub repo called Atlas Agents. Okay, so all these chapters are converted as a doc, and I have prepared a PDF because it's a live documentation. I don't want to mess up anything, right? So we are looking at the PDF. And to the audience, I'm here. Um, would like to introduce Kevin.
Hello,
Hi, Kevin.
guys.
Say hi.
Hi.
Okay, cool. So he is a sixth grader, and he shows passion in tech, and he wants to join this in discovering what's Agentic AI along with me. So we are doing this as an um, live, right, together. Okay, all right. So let's dive into the documentation. Okay, so the first preface, why agents, why now, right? So TLDR. Okay, TLDR, too long, didn't read. Okay, this is like, hey ChatGPT or Gemini, summarize this document for me, right? That's the TLDR. So these were existing before the GPT era, right? When the Google was your only source, a god for search, we used to use this keyword TLDR. Okay, so the author here says the gap between the flashy demo and a trustworthy agent is canyon. What does it mean? Which means there are too many things, unknown things, okay, and it makes a much larger difference between someone showing a demo that it's working versus the, yeah, work against the trustworthy agent. Oh, what do you think about this, Kevin?
I think you can't like trust it that much.
Correct. Yeah, we will get to, we'll go behind the scenes and try to discover why can we trust the agents at this time, right? So author is saying nobody was writing about it, how to cross it. Okay, so it's like point A to point B, and you will not be able to achieve the point B or directly travel to point B without crossing the canyon. So there are too many hurdles behind it. So this documentation is written in such a way, gives an idea how to traverse this. Okay, the points he's saying here, it starts from failure, not hype. Every chapter opens with a real war story the author lived through, not polished retrospectives, but actual pain points that shaped design decisions being taught. You learn why things are built a certain way, not just how. Okay? Yeah. Okay. You go ahead with the second point.
Alright, okay. It builds one system, not 15 disconnected demos.
Mm-hmm.
Every chapter adds a layer to Atlas, a research and coding assistant. The code you write in chapter 1 is still running in chapter 15. Nothing gets thrown away.
What does it mean? It means it's going to help you understand the basic concepts, and it's going to prevail until you cross the canyon, which is the chapter 15 and beyond, right? Okay, yeah, go on.
Patterns first. Not framework first. The reference public notes teaches the underlying patterns, loops, state, handoff, evaluate,
Evaluation.
evaluation, so that when frameworks change, and they will, the reader's knowledge doesn't
That's
expire.
right. Yeah. So here, the author, you know, gives the 10,000 foot of view how to cross the canyon. So basically, Agentic AI in the background does these steps like loops. Okay, um, the the professionals call it as like while loops with a condition. Okay, while loop in the sense it keeps on run until it achieves a defined state or an end goal. So it keeps running
Oh,
without any human intervention. Yeah, go ahead.
so it keeps going, and then when it completes its task, like stop.
Yeah,
Then goes.
that's
Yeah.
that's called the loops, right?
Mm-hmm.
And state. What do you mean by state? So if you take IAC perspective from a Terraform perspective, so it needs to be aware what it has already out there and what you are bringing in. You differentiate it with the state file. Okay, that is a relevance of like maintaining a state in agentic AI perspective. If you take the frameworks like LangChain or LangGraph, they maintain a state, right? Uh, Handoffs. So when agent spawns and sub-agent and you are running an agents in parallel, you have to hand off certain information instruction to next agents. That's called handoff. And evaluation is a step, and that gives you an ability to for an agent to determine its effects. Okay, that's the outcome, if it's verifiable or it is trustable or not. That's the evaluation. So that when frameworks change and they will, readers knowledge doesn't expire. Okay, it covers what doesn't make the tutorials, like when not to use an agent, how to evaluate trajectories, not just final answers, what guardrails actually need to catch in production. Guardrails, this is critical. How to make an agent portable across providers and survive a vendor outage. What does that mean? You should not design a system that has a vendor lock-in. Okay, it needs to be like using a open source framework or something like that. It ends where the field is going. The final chapter covers what it actually running in production today, not what was existing at exciting at conference talks 2 years ago. Simply putting, it's like a war stories. One sentence.
One sentence. The reference public notes for engineers who want to build agents that survive contact with real users.
Yep.
Preface.
Why agents?
Why now?
No. Okay. I think this is a good step for now. Okay. So we will continue in our